everyone, hope you all are fine and enjoying my class. Today my topic is Supreme Court, which is coming under Article 124 to 147 under Indian Constitutional Law. So we will cover some important topic only which is important for exam purpose, LLB exam purpose. First, let me give some introduction about Supreme Court, and let me tell you something about the Supreme Court. That is, Supreme Court of India replaced the Federal Court and became the final court of appeal in 1950. Okay. So what happens now? Before 1950, there was a Federal Court. Okay. So there was a Federal Court before 1950, and Supreme Court came in 1950, means it established in 1950, 26 Jan 1950, and it replaced that Federal Court. So usually Supreme Court actually represents India level. Already we discussed in the judiciary system in India video. So it represents India level, and this Supreme Court established according to Regulating Act 1773. Okay. But this Federal Court actually was according to the Government of India Act 1935. Okay. So in 1950, the Supreme Court established and it replaced the full Federal Court. Okay, and it became the final court, and it is also known as an appellate court, where we can appeal with the order of the inferior courts like High Court, District Court. Nextly, second, there are currently 33 judges, including the Chief Justice of India, and maximum possible strength is 34. So maximum strength is 34, but at currently in 2021 there are 33 judges, including Chief Justice of India. As per Constitution of India, judges of the Supreme Court retires at age of 65. So maximum age limit is 65. They are going to retire. In August 2021, that is in this year only, the President signed the warrant of appointment of 9 judges, including 3 women is there, to the Supreme Court, taking the total number of judges to 33. The most since India's independence against the sanctioned strength of 34, means this is the first time out of total strength is 34, and there is currently 33 judges are there, and and there almost 3 women is there. It was also the first instance that 9 judges to the Supreme Court took oath at once. So same time 9 judges, they took the oath together, and 7 of the 33 judges will eventually become the Chief Justice of India. Next, we will discuss about the appointment of judges, which is coming under Article 124. So usually the judges of Supreme Court, okay, who appoints the judges of Supreme Court? The President. Okay, so the President appoints the judges of Supreme Court. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court is appointed by the President with the consultation of the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Courts as it deems necessary. So first, all the judges will be appointed by the President, and next is, whenever it's all about the appointment of this Chief Justice of Supreme Court, that decision is going to be taken by the President with the consultation of all other judges and the High Court also, or all other judges of Supreme Court and High Court as it deems necessary. Next is, in case of appointment of other judges of the Supreme Court other than means the judges, next is coming Chief Justice of Supreme Court, and other than these 2 categories, if other judges are also required to be appointed, in that cases the President will consult with the Chief Justice. Okay. So first, normal judges are going to be appointed of Supreme Court. Next is Chief Justice with the all President will do with the consultation with these judges. When the Chief Justice will come, in case of other judges appointment, the President will do it with the consultation of Chief Justice. and generally the senior most judge of the Supreme Court is appointed as the Chief Justice of India. So out of all judges, the most senior judge or the senior most judge is of the Supreme Court is appointed as Chief Justice of India. Next is about qualification of judges. So what qualification is required to become the judge of Supreme Court? First of all, the person must be a citizen of India. This is common for everywhere, actually, every topic. Next is very important, which you need to remember, that is he should have been a High Court judge for at least 5 years. That means he has served as a judge in the High Court for at least 5 years, or he worked as an advocate of a High Court for at least 10 years, or 2 or more such other court in succession, okay, in the area succession as eminent jurist. Okay, so this is the qualification of a judges of the Supreme Court. Next is transfer of judges, which is coming under Article 222. So in case any judge is required to transfer from one High Court to another High Court, that is usually possible and it is done by the President after consultation with the Chief Justice of India. Okay, so easily President after consultation with Chief Justice of India can transfer the judge from one High Court to other High Court, and this initiation of the proposal for transfer, okay, so and this initiation of the proposal for the transfer of a judge from one High Court to other High Court, this is usually taken by the Chief Justice of India, whose opinion in this regard is totally determinative, like this cannot be changed. Okay, if he is determined that this judge will go from this High Court to that High Court, that is final. No one is having a right to change that. Next is tenure and removal or impeachment of judges. What is the tenure of judges and whether those judges can be removed from their position or not? Tenure 65 years. So judges can hold their office until 65 years of age, and in case the judges want to resign, they can resign from his office only by writing to the President. So they need to address their resignation letter to the President. A Supreme Court judge may be removed from his office, okay, by order of President for proved misbehavior and incapacity. So this is very important. Until and unless he is disqualified due to these two grounds, that is he has done any misbehavior with the Constitution of India and incapacity, he is not capable of doing such act, okay, he cannot be removed. So Supreme Court judge easily can be removed by the President for this proved misbehavior and incapacity. But yes, the procedure for removal is too difficult. The motion has to be passed by majority of the total members of both House of Parliament. That means Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha majority should say yes for such removal. Okay, and what is majority means? That is 2/3 of the members present and voting. So in each house 2/3 of the members should present and vote for that notice or for that removal resolution. Then only such judges can be, or such judges or such judge can be removed from their position or from their office. Next, I would like to explain you like government normally are of 3. One is legislature, next is executive, and last is judiciary. So you know, legislature means those who are making laws. Who make laws? Parliament. Who are there in the Parliament? Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and President. Executives. Who are executives? Those who implement the law. So who implements the law? Usually under union executives, who are coming? like President, Prime Minister, Council of Ministers, Attorney General of India, all these are implementing the law. Judiciary is an independent body. Now, if any law is implemented wrongly, okay, in case if any law implemented wrongly, in such case, judiciary will give protection. So, judiciary will give protection if there is any wrong implementation of law. Lastly, jurisdiction of Supreme Court, or you can say powers of Supreme Court. Okay. So, first jurisdiction is original, writ of jurisdiction, appellate, advisory and judicial review. First come to original jurisdiction. What is this? Supreme Court is having power to handle the dispute. Okay, that is actually original. Handle the dispute. Any type of dispute, Supreme Court can handle it. Okay, it can be state, it can be union territory, it can be any. So they actually deals with the India level, whatever it is. So next is writ of jurisdiction. That means in case if there is any violation of fundamental rights, okay, if anyone violated the fundamental rights, if there is any violation in fundamental rights, in that cases writ petition can be filed under Article 32 to Supreme Court. So 220 usually we file writ petition under Article 226 to High Court, and here in case if there is any violation in fundamental rights, one can file a writ petition under Article 32 to Supreme Court. Next, we all know that Supreme Court is an appellate body. So it's a highest court of appeal. That means what? You already we have read, like if you are not satisfied with the order of district court, you can appeal to High Court, and if you are not satisfied with the order of High Court, we can go to Supreme Court. So this is the highest court of appeal. So after Supreme Court, no one is there to accept or to take your appeal. Next is they also act as an advisory. That means they also sometimes gives advice to President. But yes, it is not binding on him. So it is not binding on him. And lastly, judicial review. You know, like judicial review means they are having right to give the judicial review as per act. They are having right to review the case, whatever is already dealt by the inferior courts like district court, High Court, and they are having that right to review. If Supreme Court feels, they can change or amend also the decision. So whatever High Court has given the decision, if you are appealing with that order to the Supreme Court, Supreme Court is having that power to review the matter, to change the matter, or to amend the matter. Whatever is there, they are having that judicial review power. So these are the jurisdiction of Supreme Court, that is original. You can file writ petition under Article 32. Next is you can appeal with the order of the inferior courts to Supreme Court. Sometimes they gives advice to the President, okay, but it is not binding on him. And finally they will review it, they can change, they can amend. These powers are having. So thank you.